Hi, hello students. Let's start our next point. Next topic is proteins only in the biomolecule chapter. Let's have a basic idea regarding proteins only here. Generally, the word name coming from the protein is called proteus. Proteus is a Greek word. Proteus means primary importance. What is proteus means? Proteus means generally primary importance only. Generally, what they believe in proteins are essential for to sustain life in the earth only. Okay, proteins are building block elements of the cell walls, and proteins are building block of the muscles or constructions. So everything is dependent upon. That's why they call it proteus means primary importance only. Generally, proteins are a most abundant biomolecules of living system. Main source of proteins are there, no cheese, okay, no milk, pulse, peanuts, fish, and meat. Clear is there, no? This is a basic idea. Look at the proteins are made up of the amino acids only. Proteins are made up of the amino acids. Proteins nothing but a polymers, amino acids nothing but a monomers only. Because the amino acids are held together by glycosidic. Okay, remember what the bond is called amide bond. This is called glycosidic bond only. So let's have a go for the discussion regarding proteins only. So here, look at students, proteins are there, no most abundant organic molecule of the living system. Proteins are most abundant organic molecule only. They formed about about 50% of the diet weight. Just whatever food we are taking, it's contain 50% only. General remember proteins means you could protein diet means you will egg you will eat, some meat, fish you will take. Now most of people they will take for to make up the increasing our body strength, building body here. They are most important for the for building function of the cell wall only. Clearly, construction of cell wall is nothing but proteins are very important only. That's why the reason why some people who are going for the gym something else, gym they will use protein diet only. Proteins are polymers of amino acids only. All we discuss here nothing but proteins are polymers of amino acids. Amino acids are joined together by peptide bond. They form a polymers. Proteins only. Okay, proteins and complete hydrolysis gives generally amino acids only. Polymer and hydrolysis gives amino acids only. Generally, there are 20 standard amino acids are there which are represently found in the struggle. General 20 amino acids are you will find in the animals only, and plants are microbials only. Generally, collagen is the most abundant animal protein. Collagen is the most abundant animal protein. If you see the proteins, 20 proteins are said, these 20 proteins are there now. Collagen, one protein, is one protein which is more abundant in the human being only. Rubisico is a plant protein only. Is a plant protein. Protein synthesis is controlled by the DNA. DNA is a DNA deoxyribonucleic acid only. Deoxyribonucleic acid. They are very essential. They will give guidance which proteins must be synthesized, like that DNA only. So let's have some other view is there. Here look at the amino acid. Generally, amino acid means generally they will call it it's contain one amine group and it contain one acid group along with one carbon will be there. This R is there may be a different structure. Based on this R is there, no, the amino acids are classified. Clear is there, no? So that's what is amino acid. Amine plus acid. Look at the amine plus acid. Both basic functional group is there, SD functional group is there, alkyl chain also is there. Most generally we are discussing most focus on the alpha amino acid. What is mean alpha amino acid means? Look at the one acid function group is there, no? This acid function group. Next carbon contain amino group is there. That's called as a alpha amino acid. It's called alpha amino acids only. Here look at the here this R can be the hydrogen. If you suppose if R is hydrogen, then it's called glycine. Okay, glycine is there, no? Glycine, look at the just consider here the one point number hydrogen is there. If R is a hydrogen, this is called glycine is optically inactive. Only glycine is amino acid is optically inactive. Most of the amino acids are optically active. R can be a methyl group. Methyl, look at suppose R is equal to CH3, then it's called as alanine. Okay, hydroxymethane is series of the other containing of amino acids only. Maybe amino acids, cyclic amino acid, aromatic amino acids are there, no? Alpha amino acid, beta amino acids are there. In our syllabus, we are more focused on amino acid only. All amino acids contain carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen, but some other them additionally contain sulfur only. Most of the amino acids contain this functional. This is carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. Some other special they contain sulfur amino acid only. Physical and chemical properties amino acid due to the amino group and carboxyl group and function of the alkyl group only. Clear? Physical and chemical properties amino acid due to the amino group carboxylic acid and our functional group is there. Amino acids are different types. General amino acid category 7 types are there. Look at the classification amino acids. Amino acids are classified based on the number of the COOH group, number of NH2 groups only. If more number of COOH groups are there, then it's called as the acidic amino acid only. Acidic amino acid. Example acidic amino acid is aspargine and glutamine. Can aspargine and glutamine only. Acidic amino acid. Aspartic acid, glutamic acid also. Generally acidic amino acid only. Basic amino acids are there, lysine, histidine and arginine. Basic amino acid nothing but lysine, histidine, arginine, very important. Next one, neutral amino acids are there, both contain both the COH group and NH2 group. They contain both COH group and NH group. Example is the glycine, valine. Glycine and valine is a generally example. Next one is amino acids also further classified into the essential amino acid and non-essential amino acids only. They are classified into the essential amino acid, non-essential amino acid. Essential amino acids means these amino acids must be provided by the food diet. You have to provide a food diet through body to construction of body only. Example is valine, leucine, isoleucine. Clear? Valine, leucine, isoleucine. Non-essential amino acid means you should not be take the diet. Generally, our body itself they will be construct the non-essential amino acid. Example is alanine, aspartic acid. So look at the amino acids are neutral amino acids are which contain one amino group, one carboxylic acid group. Example glycine, alanine, valine. Look at the all amino acids are mentioned as shortcut method only. Look at the glycine means GLY, alanine means ALA, valine means VAL, leucine means LAU, isoleucine means ILE only. Acid amino acid means look at the general contain one carboxylic acid group is extra. Look at aspartic acid ASP, aspargine ASN, glutamine GLU, glutamic acid GLU, glutamine GLN only. Basic amino acids contain one arginine, lysine is contain basic amino acid only. Okay, S contain amino acid. Some amino acids is already clearly contain sulfur is function. Some sulfur also is that's called as cysteine, methionine. Very important. Cysteine, methionine is the sulfur containing amino acids. General alcohol containing amino acid, aromatic containing amino acid only. Up to this one is most important for your syllabus. Look at some structure of the alanine is there. Look at I mentioned is there here. I mean generally if you consider carbon atom is contain one acid group, NH2 group, one hydrogen. This is common. If methyl group is contained, then it's called as alanine, neutral amino acid. Why neutral? One CH group is there, one base is there. Next one is aspartic acid, is acidic amino acid. Aspartic acid. Why acidic amino acid? Two COH functional groups are there. Clear? One amine functional group is there. Next one lysine. Lysine is a basic amino acid. One NH2 group is there. Here also NH2 group is there. Here, when compared with the acid groups, one NH2 group is extra is there. No, that's called as a lysine, basic amino acid only. Serine. General serine is alcohol is contained. Generally, as alcohol is contained, alcohol is weak acidic nature. That's generally is acidic amino acid only. Cysteine is contains sulfur. Sulfur also generally is acidic amino acid will come only. Clear is there? No? Next one is the phenylalanine. Phenylalanine. Look at the aromatic amino acid only. This one is called as a aromatic amino acids only. Okay, let's have the peptide bonds are there. What do you mean peptide bond? You could here the just considered amino acid containing of the one a COH group, one NH group is there. We look at here this convention is one amino acid NH hydrogen, and here look at the one carbon is the hydrogen R functional group is there. Here one acid functional group is there. This acid functional group contain OH group is there, no. Second amine contain H2 hydrogen is there, no. They both will combine. They will live as a water molecule. When they leave the water molecule, they form a one CONH bond. This is called as a amide bond. Peptide bond. This is also called as peptide bond. If you discuss the polymer, we discuss about amide. If you discuss in the proteins, we discuss about peptide bond only. Okay, look at the other. First, suppose your two amino acids are involved in form a single peptide bond. 3 amino acid dipeptide bond. 4 amino acid tripeptide bond will come here. The chain having 2 amino acid like by the peptide bond, so it's called as dipeptide. The sequence of amino acid present in the polypeptide is specific for the particular proteins. The sequence of amino acids of particular protein but different will be various one. Clear? Then go for next one is the structure of proteins. Look at the proteins structure has been classified into 4 types is there. Protein structure has been classified into 4 types are there. One is then here Generally, okay, primary structure of proteins, secondary structure of protein, tertiary structure protein, quaternary structure only. Okay, now here the primary structure, secondary, tertiary, quaternary only. Primary structure explain about the sequence of amino acids. Look at the how amino acid sequence will be there. Alanine, alanine, glycine, isoleucine is there. No? Valine, alanine, glycine. Valine, alanine, glycine sequence of amino acid. Primary structure. Secondary structure is there. No? How it folds. The alpha helix fold or beta helix fold will explain. Tertiary structure further explain about the secondary structure only. Like a thread-like structure will be there, like coil structure will be there. Final structure, quaternary structure explain about the complete information regarding this one. Look at the primary structure refers to the number of and linear sequence of amino acid. It explains number of amino acid and linear sequence of, this is a linear sequence of amino acids only. Okay, in the polypeptide chain due to location of the disulfide bridge also is, some disulfide bridge also is. Look at here, here sulfide bond also is there. Primary structure is the responsible for the function of the proteins only. Primary structure as a function, what it is performing, either the carrying the information, either the initiate some enzyme action. Proteins are made up of enzymes only. No? Enzymes are made up of proteins only. No? Next one is then a N terminal of amino acid are written on the left hand side. C terminal amino acids are written on the right hand side only. Clear? So next one is go for next structure of the proteins are there. Look at second structure of proteins are there. The folded structure. The folded of linear chain in a specific coiled structure is there. Second structure, remember here very important. The need to explain the two will be there. One is the alpha helix structure and beta helix structure. What is alpha? This is alpha only. Look at the here just comes a coil, alpha coil, and it containing of the liquid hydrogen bond will be the NHCO. Please call alpha helix. Beta helix structure means look at there here the like two chains are there. The two chains are attached. Okay, two chains are attached. Next we'll go with the test structure. Test structure is there no. Tertiary forms will find like the fibrous threads will come here. Let's have a very clear primary structure is there. Look at the sequence of amino acids are there. Primary structure. Second structure means look at the like alpha helix structure. Beta pellet structure. Beta pellet structure means two sheet like a sheet structure will be there. Look at two sheets are there. One sheet will be there, one sheet will be there. They held together by bond only. Next structure tertiary nothing but here the coil lab structure will be there. Quaternary nothing but completely full form of folded structure will be there. Look at tertiary they mentioned test structure here. Look at the helical polypeptides may folded upon itself as a assumes a complex but specific form only. Spherical rod like a sometime look at the remember tertiary structures are further classified into the two types only. Okay, tertiary form is further classified into the two types only. First one is then a fibrous tertiary fibrous proteins and globular proteins. Very important, fibrous proteins and globular proteins. Fibrous nothing but thread. The threads are there. Globular proteins also is there. Here globular proteins are coil-like structure only. Let's look at the very important for the board examination. Fibrous proteins and globular proteins. Fibrous protein shape will be the long form is narrow shape, thread-like structure. Globular protein nothing but spherical like a balls. Purpose of structure for making up some anything building is the globular protein function like enzyme production, something else. Okay, as a general acid sequence is the repeating of amino acid sequence will be there. Irregular amino acid sequence will be there. Globular protein irregular amino acid sequence will be there. Durability less sensitive to change in the pH of temperature. Fibrous proteins less respond only. Globular proteins more respond towards the change in pH and temperature only. Example nothing but collagen, myosin, fibrin, keratin. Look at the hair is there. No, you remember hair. Fibrous proteins always remember hair only. Okay, solubility generally insoluble in the water. Globular proteins soluble in the water. Okay, both is there. No, they both are very essential. And remember one point is then here. The both contain a hydrogen bond. They both contain hydrogen bond only. Look at this is fibrous protein structure. Like fibrous like a thread will come. Globular proteins like a look at this. This one is like a folded form. Okay, folded form. Next one is the proteins are classified is the based on function, based on the chemical nature and solubility. Okay, nutrition the importance only. Proteins has been classified only. Okay, all we discuss here. Look at the here general they are given the function of the classification for the functional classification is there now. Structural proteins, keratin, collagen only. Example, enzymatic protein, which is acted as enzymal pepsin. Okay, next one is transport Okay, proteins only, hemoglobin transport protein. Next one hormonal proteins, insulin growth hormones anathu. Next one is then here the contracyte okay. Next one is this is proteins ante actin myosin only. Next one contracytile protein only, right. Next one is then a storage protein. Okay, storage protein anathu here this one is called okay general albumin they are called as a genetic proteins nothing but a nucleoprotein, defense protein nothing but a immunoglobulin proteins only, receptor proteins nothing but for hormonal virus only. Okay, hormonal virus balance only. Next one is that here look at there here just classification of proteins classified into the based on the classification is then based on the chemical nature and solubility only. Simple proteins, these are composed of only amino acids residue only. Conjugated proteins, along with amino acids there is a non-protein power part also is there, conjugated protein only. Derived proteins mean these are the denatured of the proteins. Look at the most important one, nothing but a denaturation will come here. What does mean denaturation means? When you add change the pH value and change the temperature, proteins undergo denaturation. When proteins undergo denaturation, nothing but a boiling of the egg only. Generally, egg is liquid state only. When you boil, it becomes hard only, or making an omelette, something is called denaturation only. Denaturation happen by applying the change in the temperature, change in the pressure only. Look at the denaturation by the heat only. Most of the proteins can be denatured by the heat only, which affect the interaction of the proteins. So generally during the denaturation process, primary form of structure will be remaining same, secondary form only will be disturbed. This point is very very important. If the temperature increases, slowly a protein conformation generally remains it intact until the loses structure only. Okay, function occur over narrow temperature range only. General change in pH value during the cooking process. This stress causes the denaturation. This is called typical as a heat alternation. Generally, look at this arrangement is there. After on heating, what happens? The uncoiled form is formed. Uncoiled and they changes the structure is called denaturation. This is example of denaturation process. Denaturation of egg only. Generally, egg is liquid only. Here albumin will be there. Okay, albumin, water soluble albumin will be there. After when you heat it, what happens in the area? They become denaturation. Look at they become the white color. Denaturation happen. Protein general look at like this coil structure will be there. Yeah, after heating apply, what they become like cross link denaturation happen.